Welcome everybody to session number 4. Really excited, as I always am. Now, I wanted you to mention, because now we got just one session to go after this, that a lot of the really good stuff, and I hope you got some phenomenal stuff out of this, but some of the real closing stuff and the real clinches, I'm deliberately hiding in the last couple of episodes. And I do that because you often get people that start the process and don't finish it. And as a credit to a lot of you guys for staying this far, I'm really going to keep up the momentum with some really, really good stuff. And this is going to become more and more apparent over the next 2 sessions. And I want to start today by just reiterating the fact, and I hope you guys realize that this whole business that's been created is not one of those typical internet, you can make $2,000 a day just by moving your mouse around LinkedIn. It's so easy. And that kind of thing. It's not one of those kind of systems. It's not one of those kind of, come on, this is how much money you can make. People are still kind of sending me messages like, how does the business model work? And that's great. I mean, that was done deliberately. And I know a lot of people think, well, shouldn't you get all the business stuff out of the way? And the answer is no, because the business stuff is obviously critically important. However, if you're not passionate about what you're doing and you don't like the process, the greatest business model in the world is never going to work for you. So in terms of the business model, I want to actually start by just giving you guys a little bit of a role play. Okay, so I want to start by saying, like when a client arrives, what do you say to them? How does the business work? And I know you guys have got a good idea, but let's say, somebody comes up to me or somebody comes up to you and wants to say, okay, what do you guys do for me on LinkedIn? How do you take them through the process? What do you say to them? Now, next week is where we really go into this in detail. But I wanted to just frame this for you, because what you're telling them is you're saying, listen, I'm a LinkedIn expert. I focus on LinkedIn, but I don't sell your product or service. I actually get you in touch with the right people. And I build a one-on-one relationship on your behalf on LinkedIn with a small but select group of people. So I'm not here to grow thousands and thousands and thousands of people on your LinkedIn profile. Anyone can do that. What I'm looking to do is help you get in front of the right people, the key people that you need to grow your business or yourself. That's essentially what I do. Now, that is hugely refreshing for a small business owner to hear, because they're so used to hearing, I'll help you do this advert. I'll help you sell. I'll help you do all this kind of stuff. It's not about your product or service. It's about them. So when you say to them, honestly, LinkedIn is just a means to an end. All the stuff I'm showing you that works on LinkedIn is just the means to the end. What we're trying to do here is we're trying to create a database of highly, the qualified people. And at the end of the day, what we're trying to accomplish for your client is create a small group of highly select people and build a strong one-on-one relationship with them. That means what you guys are not just LinkedIn experts, but you actually become experts and specialist at building relationships on LinkedIn one-on-one on behalf of your clients. So you see the difference. So it's not so much about, okay, what can you do for me? Well, there's this really cool app and I can do this and I can send out your invitations and acceptances. How the app works is important, but it's not as important as what you're actually doing for the client. And I'm going to take you through a bunch of examples as we get into the underlying strategy, which is the captivating one-liner. But can I just pause there for a second? And can you guys just give me some feedback? Does that make sense to you? Are you guys happy with that? Do you get that what you're doing for clients is just focusing on getting them in touch with the right people? So thanks, Help. Yes, like it. That's great. Tony says, great. Super thanks. Michael, yes, pure sense. Helene, yes. Okay, good. So you're all happy again, which is great. So if you've got any confusion, so you're not going out there and selling, we'll help you redesign your LinkedIn profile. You are doing that in a way, but you're not going out there with that. You guys are experts. You guys are brain surgeons. As Harp says, yes, building the relationship. Okay. So essentially what's happening right now is your goal is to go to the client and when you're conversing with them, say to them, this is ultimately around getting you into the door one-on-one with the right people. And I'm going to use a combination of methodology and technology to do that. Okay, awesome. So I hope this is all making sense, guys. And I hope this is the exciting part. So that's essentially what you're doing. You are you're becoming that specialist and that expert, but your goal is a small number of highly in tune people. Okay. I know I've repeated myself many, many times, but it's so important to get you out of that sale mode. Now, I'm going to show you some examples, okay, of the captivating one-liner. And when you're in front of clients, this is the kind of thing that you're going to need to be doing for them. This is the more advanced strategy. I completely get, guys, that you guys can do it now. You can use the app. You can go there and you can do LinkedIn invitations for people. You can do acceptance messages and you can do that. And you guys can go out there and you can run a nice business with the app and what I've taught you so far. Okay, 100%. You go to them, they say, listen, $300, $400 a month. I will really help you build your LinkedIn profile, but I'll get you in front of the right people. Ideally, though, what you want to say to them is, I'm actually going to start building those relationships on your behalf, which is what we did last time. Now we're going to get into the strategy. So let's take a look at some pure examples. And I hope some of you guys have done your homework and at least read my book, The Captivating One-Liner, because the captivating one-liner is so important. And the captivating one-liner is the article headline, right? This is a great way for you to make money. And I haven't mentioned this in any of the other seminars. One of the great ways that you can make money is if you can understand how to do a captivating one-liner in that workshop. You can charge for that workshop. It's a nice little hour, 2-hour session you can do with a client. Come guys, let's sit down. Let's do a strategy. Let's say, who do you want to speak to? Who is your niche? And what is your captivating one-liner? Once you've got that, now you can roll that captivating one-liner out using the same methodology that I've shown you so far, using the same app, everything I've shown you. But because the captivating one-liner is amazing, your click-throughs and your responses are going to go through the roof. Okay, so I'm going to start showing you, first of all, a few examples of captivating one-liners that have been done on LinkedIn. Okay, in other words, they've been posted as LinkedIn articles. All right, so here's just an example. Chemical companies. Your strategy is a molecule. If it doesn't bond, it's useless. This is a captivating one-liner, okay? And it's an article that's been placed on LinkedIn and posted as an article, okay? Just a simple LinkedIn article. However, the captivating one-liner is powerful. Now, these article examples will be put in the safe later, okay? So you guys can check them out. However, they are quite long. So you don't have to write articles this long. You can do an article a fifth of the size for your clients. All you've got to do, okay, so this is how you do it. All you've got to do is come up with a very, very powerful, captivating one-liner for your clients, and then just a couple of paragraphs. And that couple of paragraphs has to be powerful. It can't be airy-fairy or something you'll read anywhere. It can't be just content you put out there just to solve the captivating one-liner and just to put some words down. It has to be good because the person's name, your client who's going to be the author of this, has got their name to it. So your captivating one-liner has got to be hugely powerful, but at the same time, the content also has to be good. And they're going to back it up. So you see what's happening there, guys? Chemical companies, your strategy is a molecule. If it doesn't bond, it's useless. Who are we talking to? It's clear in the captivating one-liner. The number of times I've had people come to me with their example of a captivating one-liner and they say, Scott, what do you think of my captivating one-liner? They always forget to put the target audience into the actual headline itself. So if you're targeting chemical companies, your headline has chemical companies. This is what makes you a specialist. This captivating one-liner is what decides whether people are going to click and read this article and actually take you seriously and your client seriously or not. Okay, look at this, guys. You've got to put this in. Now, in this case, it's chemical companies. Your strategy is a molecule. If it doesn't bond, it's useless. You can change that and you could put something along the lines of CFOs or a job title or HR managers. I'm going to give you some examples. What I care about is your niche must go in this. You could have written this article, okay? Christu, who's guinea pig here as the article author. Christu could have written an article called Your Strategy is a Molecule. If it doesn't bond, it's useless, and left out chemical companies. Still would have been the same article. Still would have been a great article. However, click-throughs, fraction of what they would be. Why? Because it's generic. The moment you say this article is for chemical companies, that's when it clicks. That's when people start to react because they say, right, this guy's a specialist writing on my behalf. It's completely a game changer. So I also hope that you guys are realizing the difference between the captivating one-liner in the headline that you guys are using, okay, versus what you're going to be doing for your clients. So the captivating one-liner that you guys are using is that article that I showed you before, which is your price list. So in other words, this one here, I will manage and ignite your LinkedIn profile and build more conversations with the highest quality contacts. That's your captivating one-liner. When you get a client on board, you're going to be creating these captivating one-liners for them. So I hope that's clear, the difference of the captivating one-liner that you use versus they use. This is high-end strategy. It's quite etheric, so it's a little bit boring because I'm like droning on. But at the same time, you get this right. You go from a 5%, 2%, 3% click-through rate to a 15, 20% click-through rate. I'm not kidding, guys. It's incredible what a difference it's going to make. Okay, so Margot says, do we write the article? Could we not ask our client to write since they're the expert, but we assist with content suggestions and then assist them with the captivating headline? Okay, what Margot's saying is, I don't like to really do content myself. I think the client should do it. Margot, and to the rest of you, the client's going to turn around and they're going to go, I hate doing content. Please, can you do it for me? So you don't have to be a writer. Don't worry, guys. You don't have to be a writer. And yes, the client can just put a couple of paragraphs together, badly written, not really cohesive, but the point gets across. Go to fiverr.com or go to Elancer or one of those freelance websites. Find yourself a copywriter. A copyright will charge you a small amount of money and they'll fix it for you. But you need to be responsible, Margot, for that client's content. I promise you, the client will mess it up. I guarantee you that. Unless the client really understands this process, they will mess it up. And the first place they're going to mess it up is the captivating one-liner. So when you do that workshop up front, yes, you're going to come up with a strategy that they must approve before they actually write the article. They must approve this line. But whatever you guys do, do not let the clients write this line themselves. You must do it with the client. This is what's going to make the client stay with you. This is your revenue, guys, because the client will stay on with you for a long time if the captivating one-liner is good. Okay, so Margot, yes, agree. Is this making sense, guys? I know this is a little bit more boring, but at the same time, wow, you get this right. Now you're starting to kickstart a seriously powerful little process. Everyone happy? Helped you? Cool strategy? Good. Thank you. Good. Okay, so I'm going to carry on giving you guys more and more examples. Let's go through another example. Cherie says, and clients will write sales pushy stuff in the article most probably. Gee, that's a good point. If you give this to this, clients will write, it'll be all about their product. This article isn't about their product. It's about the pain of the company they're speaking to. It's all about their pain. Look here, guys. Yeah, thank you, Pete. Also says good. So chemical companies, your strategy is a molecule. If it doesn't bond, it's useless. What we're basically saying here is your strategy is not bonding. That's a pain point. Christo doesn't go, I'm actually a business doctor. I can help you with your business. I'm a business strategist, etc. He's positioning himself as a strategy expert for chemical companies. That is the game changer. Okay, let's go to another one. Mexit, medical specialists looking to leave South Africa. Classic example, taking a problem. A lot of medical specialists want to leave South Africa. You come up with Mexit. Their pain is that they know they have to leave. So again, Alvain, lifestyle financial planner, at the end of the day, he's not writing about insurance or retirement annuities. He's talking about how he can help medical specialists leave South Africa. Okay. Online retailers. Once again, who are we talking to? Put that into your captivating one-liner. You must always put that target audience into your captivating one-liner. Online retailers, your low quality pack shot photography is chasing your customers away. Now, what I would really recommend that you guys do is also put the city in there. So when you guys start to get really niche, it's online retailers in Johannesburg or online retailers in Cape Town, online retailers in London. You can get, the more specific you are, the better your results are going to be for your clients. Online retailers, your low quality pack shot photography is chasing your customers away. She's a photographer. Candy is a photographer. That's what she does. Okay. But her article is not about how great she is as a photographer. Okay. She's actually showing you the difference in terms of what pack shots can actually, what difference they can make. And she's showing you that online retailers, you need to have good photography. You see how she's creating this. I hope this is making sense, guys. Your captivating one-liner is, it's the make or break of the way in which you run those campaigns. Hope I'm not boring you guys, because I've got lots of examples to go, because that's how important this is. Let's do one more. Engineers. If you don't know what 4IR stands for, then shut down your business. See, how cool is that? That is a captivating one-liner. Engineers, if you don't know what 4IR stands for, then shut down your business. Okay, when you go onto LinkedIn, guys, and you're sending messages either to your potential prospects or once you've got a client on board to theirs, you've got seconds to convince someone to click. Nobody is going to read a 3-paragraph LinkedIn message. That is why I've taken great pains, especially in the second session, but particularly in the first 2, to show you guys how to do your invitation message and acceptance message. These messages, use the article. That's all you've got to do. You don't have to write a 3-paragraph sales pitch. All you do is you write a 2 or 3 line pitch that says, hey, I've written this article. It's just for you. It talks to your pain. Here it is, and copy that article. Once you've done that and you've pasted that article and you've sent the article, let the article do the work, guys. Those 3 or 4 or 5 paragraphs that you want to put into a LinkedIn message, don't put them in there. Let the article do the talking. Let the article do the talking. That's a great one, actually. Let the article do the talking. Just send them a link to the article. Because the captivating one-liner is so powerful, these guys are going to click. Chemical companies are going to click. Medical specialists are going to click. Online retailers are going to click. Engineers are going to click because you've written an article specifically for them. See how this is all coming together. The captivating one-liner is that quick 7 to 12 second. I've only got that much of your attention on LinkedIn. Otherwise, you're going to delete my message. So I need to make sure that this message has got to be electrifying. Could almost call it an electrifying one-liner. Okay. Cool, guys. I hope this is all making sense. I'm going to now take you to the next level, which is the way that we do it. And I want to show you another option. And once you start getting better and better at it, you can start to make these articles look even better. And I'm going to show you why specifically. And it all stems from here. You see, the first thing Trevor did is he put his bio in the LinkedIn article. So this is another advanced trick for you. An advanced trick. You don't have to. Candy didn't do it. She just started with the article, and you can see that it's got a LinkedIn little thing here, which shows you that it's her, and you can see that. That said, it's not a bad idea to really put your bio strong. Why do you do that? Because if it's your customer, right, and you're running LinkedIn on behalf of your client, and Trevor Kettler is going out there as your client, and you sending out LinkedIn connections, and people are clicking. Once they meet Trevor on LinkedIn and they click to his article, this reinforces the fact that he knows what he's doing. It's the fact that he's got credibility. Do you remember I told you your first objective is you've got to establish credibility and get a conversation going. Credibility is king. This is one of the little tricks you can use to do it. You don't have to do it, but this is an advanced trick. Most of your guys' articles just look like this at the moment, and they literally just have your name, which is 100% fine, guys. But it's about that credibility. Cool. I hope this is all making sense and you guys aren't getting bored out of your mind, because I know this is a little bit more dull, but strategically, this is cool. Help says, no, this is fantastic. That's great. Have we lost anyone? Is anyone sleeping? Just pop me a little message to say, no, I'm awake. I'm awake. Pete says, great. Cool. I hope this is all making sense for you guys. So now if you go back to your price list, all right, the workshop, thanks Ian, still there. Good, good, good. Help says, I'm loving this. Yaku, great stuff. Deem Decker, new name, says, that's great. Thank you, Deem Decker. So, right, let's just quickly go through this and see how it all starts to fit in. Now, remember your price list, right? What you're looking at doing is you're looking at offering a basic package, which hooks them in, which just basically says, I'll do a nice look and feel for you. I'll give you a nice background. I'll give you a nice, make sure your photograph looks really nice, and I'll give you a really nice background. See this? This guy's got a really nice photograph, a nice background, and a nice little bio. That's what you're offering. That's all. A lot of people come and will say to you, yeah, you're absolutely right. My LinkedIn profile is not good enough yet. And you hook them in by saying, well, firstly, let's just give me a night. Let me just fix up your profile quickly. It'll only cost you, $150 or whatever, but let me just get your profile looking nice so you look professional. Once you've done that, Now you can say, now you're looking professional. Now let's connect you with that inner circle, that group of people that you really want to be connected with. If you're an airline pilot, for example, you might not want clients because you don't have a business to sell. But as an airline pilot, you might want to be connected with the top HR people of all the different airlines in Europe. So you'll go, cool. What I'm going to do is I'm going to promote you and build your credibility to all those European airlines and the people within HR. Do you see what you're doing? You don't have to, this is not just about selling. You could take a CTO, for example, a well-known CTO of a big company and say, in your personal capacity, let me form relationships with the other CTOs in your country. If you're in Holland or if you're in Amsterdam, let me help you get connected and build a strong relationship and show credibility with the other CTOs in your industry, or even outside of your industry, but also within Amsterdam. So that's how you're starting. You're starting by creating this little profile for them to make sure it looks good. Guys, it's so easy. Once you've done that, okay, and you've just uploaded a background, once again, if you need graphic design help, just use Fiverr or Freelance, or one of those freelance websites. Very, very easy. Okay, so you can use that. Sid says it's the meat and gravy. Yes, absolutely. Okay. So now what you're basically doing is you're saying to them, okay, so in order to make you look good, Mr. Client, Mrs. Client, what I'd like to do is I'd like to just get you an article. It's only going to be a short article, only a couple of paragraphs long, but it's got to make a very strong point home. And that point is your captivating one-liner. Now, what you can do is, yes, you could charge $250 for that, or get it commissioned, and they can do some of the writing. But what they're really paying for here, guys, as well, is your insight into coming up with that headline, into coming up with that captivating one-liner. Now they've got that captivating one-liner, and you've set that up. Now you can go to them and say, okay, we've done the article. Now let me go handpick. Let's you and I handpick a whole bunch of people on LinkedIn and specifically invite them and share that article, and let me become your go-to person and let me build those relationships on your behalf. Let me log into these people's LinkedIn profiles and let me message them in a custom way. That's what I went through last week. Let me really do the research. Let me spend time getting to know these people. So when I reach out to them, I do it in such a nice way that shows you that I'm not spamming them, but it's in a friendly, but also uplifting, positive way. And let me get a conversation going with them. And that's the process. Margot says, when you say in basic package that the client can invite connections to visit a web page of their choice, is there no disadvantage to this in terms of LinkedIn penalizing you for taking someone to an external link? Heard somewhere that it's best to keep links internal. No, Margot, it's fine. External links are fine. This is you're really hoping that they're not going to do this. So in this case, they might. You were basically saying, yes, I will send them to a link of your choice. What you're trying to do here, and what I'm insinuating, is that you're going to give them the advice in this package as to what link they're going to go to. So you could send them to their website, for example, and that's fine. And you can do that as a basic or an intermediate package. That's fine. But really what you're trying to do is you're trying to get them into a proper article with a captivating one-liner. Because guys, let's go back a second. Once the client buys into this methodology of soft selling and feels refreshed by the fact that you're saying, I'm not here to sell your product or service. I'm here to build your personal credibility. Once they buy into that, then they'll stay with you. They will stick with you. And that's essentially what you're trying to do here. Cool. I hope that's all making sense now, guys. Now I'll go back to a couple of other examples. Right. This is a slightly different version now, a slightly different way of doing this. So here's a captivating one-liner. Lawyers, winter is coming. CPD is coming. How safe is your kingdom? This is an example of a professional article. If the clients want to pay more, then you can start getting like professional detailed articles written. A lot of your small businesses don't need this kind of level, mobile responsive, but I want to show you how it works because, and this is also going to be important. Remember, guys, remember the two things that I'm teaching you for free, and remember the two things that I want out of this. Number one, obviously we make money, a little bit of money from the app. The $49, you pay that every 3 months per client that you bring on board. It's not a lot of money for us, but it's obviously we're not going to say no to it. It's nice. What we really want is the bigger clients. So I want you to be armed with the fact that if a bigger client comes in, and when I say bigger client, anyone with more than 3 employees could potentially become what we call a full service client. Seriously, just the slightly bigger companies, not the micro businesses. Bring me in with you and I can sit with you and go to those clients and we can do a far more detailed professional job, okay, than just posting something on LinkedIn. However, the LinkedIn articles are still going to work great. Happy with that, guys? So what I'm showing you here are other examples, but the captivating one-liner is identical. It's the same concept, still focusing in this case, lawyers. Notice this isn't talking about construction companies. Now we're talking or engineers. You're now talking about lawyers. Let's talk about lodges. Look at this as a captivating one-liner. Your lodge is just like all the others, yawn. As a lodge, if you got a message on LinkedIn saying, "Hi, Simon, I noticed you're a lodge owner. I just written an article called Your Lodge is Just Like All the Others, yawn. Love you to check it out." This is getting we did this the other day. We actually looked at that. This is getting a 17% click-through rate. And it's only the beginning. It's going to go higher. It's already getting a 17% click-through rate. This is the kind of stuff that you can do, guys. You can become LinkedIn wizards. And the clients go ballistic. They love it because for the first time, someone's coming to them and going, and not saying to them, "I'm going to sell your stuff." You are deliberately going to your clients and saying, "Hello, client, I'm not going to sell your stuff. I'm going to position you as a credible industry expert to an elite group of people one-on-one on LinkedIn. I'm going to personally log into your LinkedIn account, message them, research them, get to know them, form a conversation with them. And when the conversation has reached a point where I can no longer answer their questions or take part, I hand it over to you. And that, guys, is called a handover. Remember before I showed you guys this message in the handover message. That's what a handover message is. So a handover message is the last message that you're going to send out before you get a handover to a client. And the handover message is usually written and it's in the safe. So you can read all about it, how it works in the safe. And it is a little bit tricky at times because you've got to effectively let the client now take over. But the handover is basically a message that goes out to say, let's get this conversation off of LinkedIn. Let's get it onto email. Let's get onto a phone call. Let's set up a Skype chat. I'm going to be in your area. Shall we have a meeting? That's what a handover is. A handover is a handover to the client, but it's also a handover outside of LinkedIn. So even if you're doing this for yourself, you'll still use the handover message to now say, okay, guys, let's get this off LinkedIn and let's have a proper conversation elsewhere. And inside the safe, there are some cool tricks on how to do that. I'm only going to share one trick with you now, but there's a couple. One of those tricks is when you message them, take their email address, okay, out of their LinkedIn profile. And they always have LinkedIn profiles, email addresses in their LinkedIn profiles under contact info. It's also in the app. Take their email address and say to them, is this the best email address for me to get you on? That little line is gold. As soon as you say, is this the best email address for me to get you on? You're now saying, let's take this out of LinkedIn and onto email and possibly go to a call. Sometimes you'll say for a handover, I'd love to bring my colleague involved. I was chatting to my colleague about you. I was chatting to my business partner about you. Thinks your business idea is brilliant. Thinks you're great. Loves working with pilots, whatever. Would love to get involved in this conversation. Is this email address the right email address to get you on? Why do we do that? For two reasons. It's a very soft approach. Everyone can go, yeah, that's the right email address. But the real reason is very often they use their personal email addresses on LinkedIn. And what they're going to do is they're going to say, actually, please don't get me on this LinkedIn with this email address. Get me on this email address instead. Now you can start communicating them with their business email address. And now you're almost guaranteed that phone call, that meeting, whatever it is that you're looking for. Also, what they do is they often actually bring in another partner. They actually say, you know what, I'd actually like to bring my business partner in the discussion. Please, can you, here's their email address. Please CC them as well. You see what we're doing here, guys? Do you see how this is starting to come together? The captivating one-liner is all about setting the tone. Once you build the captivating one-liner in the article, you don't need to sell anymore. We don't need to sell anyway in the article, but you don't need to you don't need to spam them. All you need to do is get a conversation going. When the conversation's going, sometimes it can take 2, 3, 4, 5 messages before they respond, and take quite a few messages. Sometimes they just don't respond for weeks. They will probably eventually respond if you're diligent and you set your follow-ups using the calendar reminder. If you keep on them, they'll respond, you get a conversation going. That conversation then moves over to a handover. And one of the tricks of that handover is to use their email address to get their correct email address going forward. Is this making sense, guys? Can I get some mentions on the group? It's boring. It's not as fun as the app moving up and down and clicking, and it's like all this exciting technology stuff. This is the strategy stuff. But really, guys, this is the essence. Helene says yes. Michael says yes. Thank you. Yes. Ian, yes. Helped. Thank you. Yes. Yaku, yes. Great. Margot says, why would someone's email address not show? I tried this yesterday and the person's email address not there. Okay, good question, Margot. About 1 in 20 people do not put their email addresses on LinkedIn. It happens sometimes, but not very often. If that happens, don't worry about it. Just carry on talking to them via LinkedIn. Okay. Thank you, Naval, who says it's critical to understand this. So these are the pieces of the puzzle. Today is really the last piece of the puzzle. And even this piece, is not potentially as important as last week. Last week is critical, but this is the final piece of the puzzle. Once you've got all of this together, guys, you're sublimely powerful. Now we just optimize. So, things like the ability to send emails and email journeys out. And if somebody isn't replying on LinkedIn, should I maybe email them instead? Definitely. But I'm going to show you how to do that next week in a bit more detail. When do you switch between LinkedIn messaging and email? Should you? How often? What is the distance between the messages? How often should you follow up? How hard should your follow-ups be? When customers come to me with objections, what do I say to them? That I'm going to take into next week's. This is very much around the captivating one-liner and that overall strategy. Happy, Margot? Yeah, Margot says, thank you. Naval says it's critical to understand this. Tony, also happy. Cool, guys. Let me go through a couple more examples of this. Okay. Right. Lawyers, winter is coming. CPD coming. How safe is your kingdom? Your lodges, just like all the others, yawn. COO, CXO, job title, targeting a specific job title. You can do that as well. One of your employees crushed your brand last month. Who was it? Okay, see, again, same idea, same captivating one-liner, same focus. 1,000 bloody shops to visit. The interior decorator's nightmare. Never, ever be shy to say it like it is, guys. If you want to use the word bloody in a subject headline, use it. You've got to differentiate yourself, and most dull, boring corporations that post stuff on LinkedIn and social media and blogs, etc., are always dull. They try to be way too politically correct and way too over the board. Obviously, you've got to be politically correct, but it's fine. Write this: 1,000 bloody shops to visit. The interior decorator's nightmare. This goes straight to the interior decorator's pain. It talks immediately to a decorator's pain. What do these guys sell? I wonder if you guys can look at this and wonder what these guys sell. My client sells with a headline like this: 1,000 bloody shops to visit, an interior decorator's nightmare. It's not obvious. You can probably guess it's furniture, but the whole point is that the article is not about furniture so much as it is about the pain of the interior decorator. You see how it's coming. Pete says, I love the lodge one. It's my niche. Cool. That's lekker. You see how we did with the lodges, hey? Look at this. Your lodges, just like all the others, yawn. Be yourself. Write a sentence. Write it a captivating one-liner. It doesn't have to be an article from the national newspaper. It mustn't sound like that. You've got to say it like it is. You've got to say you have a problem. This is an issue. This is a statement. This is me telling you about your pain. That's what a captivating one-liner is. COO, CXO. See, again, this is targeting a job title. These guys are targeting actual individuals or company types. Again, targeting interior decorators. Let's try the next one. Okay, you need to understand something, guys. Targeting CFOs and financial directors is one of the most difficult people you could target on LinkedIn. They're all on LinkedIn. There's no problem with that. but they are so busy. They are extremely high level and very senior. They are going to ignore spam like it doesn't exist. They are going to ignore anything. 99% of what goes through their inboxes and their LinkedIn is just ignored. Okay. This got almost a 20% click-through rate. In fact, I think it got higher than a 20% click-through rate with CFOs. The digital CFO, I want automation and I want it now. This is a captivating one-liner of note. And this is, again, the power. Do you see the difference? You've got seconds to convince a CFO to talk to you or to listen or to click or even just to read your frigging message. You have to be so good. Your captivating has to be amazing. Like Jessica. Thank you, Jess. You have to use an analytical approach with them. They don't like fluff. They want to see results. There you go. Yeah. So the digital CFO, I want automation. I want it now. This got a huge response, a huge response. And there's the article. Now, the other thing you notice about these longer articles, remember guys, the articles you're doing for your clients to begin with are just three or four paragraphs. Short, one, exactly as Jess says here. It should be short and to the point. When you want to take it onto a slightly bigger client and potentially bring me involved, we're going to do a much longer article, and we're going to break it into subject headings. And actually, each subject line will also become an email because we're going to start bringing automated emails into this process as well. I will only do that with you for the bigger clients. But the reason I'm telling you this is because it's part of quite a powerful methodology. And this breaks up. It allows the reader to skim through the article and actually focus on points that are important to them. However, the real reason, guys, that you're doing this, and the number one reason why you're actually making this article and doing it in this particular way, is because it shows credibility. If you've written a blog post, that blog post means absolutely nothing. It's not going to, it's not going to really generate a massive amount of credibility. When you write a full-length feature article, then you've got it. Does that make sense? Hope this is all happening, guys. Yaku says, if the article is going to be short, then it definitely should be powerful too. Yes, 100% Yaku. Be opinionated, guys. Be opinionated. Be bold. Speak like it is. That's what builds a one-on-one relationship. That's what builds personal credibility to your audience. Okay. The final example. Fudging the figures. A lawyer's guide to cutting through financial BS in business valuations. Use words like this, guys. Say it like it is. Fudging the figures. A lawyer's guide to cutting through financial BS in business valuations. What a cool flippin' captivating one-liner, hey? You go out to lawyers on LinkedIn, and are lawyers busy? Yes. Are lawyers going to ignore most emails and spam? Absolutely. They're going to completely ignore you. So you've got to be extremely powerful. So you come up with a line like this, fudging the figures, a lawyer's guide to cutting through financial BS and business valuations. Now we can start to get the click-throughs. Now we can get that. That's what builds credibility. Are you getting excited, guys? Is this starting to make sense? Imagine, right? Imagine that you could now take this information out of here, take it into bite-sized chunks, send it out as a series of emails, and start using automated emails as well as the LinkedIn stuff I've shown you. More advanced, and it's only for bigger clients. We call them full service clients. So when you guys want to have a bigger client that you bring to me, then I'm going to show you how the full service clients are going to be managed. And I'm going to do a little bit more of this next week. But I just want you guys to understand where we can go with this and the incredible, monumental importance of a phenomenal, captivating one-liner. Michael, well done. You noticed something. Michael just said, I see there's audio on this article. I was wondering if anyone was going to notice that. Yes, this has got audio on it as well. Before I talk to you about the audio, let's see what people are saying. Are you guys happy with this? Pete says, this is going to develop our creative thinking big time. Yes, it will, Pete. It absolutely is. And guys, this is something you can charge for. That's why we've put it in there, that upfront cost. When you look at your costs, okay, your intermediate costs, when you say commission a short 3-paragraph article, at 250 Australian dollars potentially, which is, work it out, $200 US. It's not, you can charge more than that if you want to for a full length article. But what I want you guys to do is a couple of paragraphs is quick for you guys. It's not going to cost you much. Not going to get someone else to do it on Fiverr or whatever. What you're really looking at doing is you're looking to workshop this captivating one-liner with the client. Anyone help again? Awesome. Thank you. Jess says yes. Any other comments on this, guys, before I show you the other stuff that we're doing here? It's cool stuff, hey? Do you see the difference between, like, we just have to learn to stop selling and start talking about the pain of the individual. And that's the difference. Helene says, I'm so excited. Good, Helene. All right. So remember the golden rule is don't put crap into the app. The ultimate, the first kind of step in terms of what we're doing here, and the ultimate goal is to build credibility. That's what we're doing. The default human setting is, I don't trust you in business. So when you meet someone on LinkedIn, they don't trust you. They don't care about your product or service. They couldn't care less. You need to make sure that you build credibility. And you do that with a captivating one-liner and a really, really good article. But you can go further than just words on a piece of paper. You can actually do what I do, and I'm happy to do this for your clients as well, is I do a 12-minute podcast interview. Okay, so under scottkundle.com, I've got a bunch of them. I've got to actually start getting my act together and get going with season 2. But season 1 is now finished. I've done 25 podcasts. So this is my personal website, 12-minute podcast with passionate performers. And I actually record these podcasts. That's all 12 minutes. And every one of them is on a captivating one-liner. Okay, so you can, take the podcast that I will record. It's like an interview, and put it onto anywhere. You can put it onto the article, or they can share it. You can do whatever you want with it. But the fact is, what it's doing is it's taking your client and yourself and moving you away from just words on a page. Now they can hear your voice speaking with credibility on the same topic. And a lot of people don't like to be in front of video, which is why I love doing podcasts, because it's very easy to do an audio interview. It's much easier than doing a video. Video is also fantastic, guys. If you want to do videos and that's what you do, go for it. I'm fully into that as well. The most important thing, though, is you take it off just the written word. And the same with emails. We can also create automated emails on top of this whole technology. We can build those in as well. However, emails are text. This is text. Yes, it's great. Good looking photographs. Look at all these sexy gents here and their lack of photographs, etc., etc. What matters, though, is when they actually hear them listening to the voice speaking about this issue. That's when the credibility really goes through the roof. So it's all about building credibility. Okay. Jess says, that's what I was chatting to you about, doing interviews. I was working on something like this previously. Yes, Jess, that's right. So interviews are a good idea. Ian is asking about LinkedIn from blocking you when you search. I'm going to talk about that later, Ian, about they're called commercial limits on LinkedIn. I'm going to show you how to get around those. And I'm going to show you what you're going to do in those circumstances. So stay on the line, Ian, and I'll talk you through that. So what matters now, guys, is you understanding the power. In fact, it's not just power. It's the extraordinary importance of a great captivating one-liner. So pop me a message, guys, if you have any questions about these captivating one-liners. You might have to listen to this one again, but I do recommend that you go through this course a second time afterwards. If you go through this course twice, you'll really get it. But what you're doing now, guys, is you're able to say to a client, a prospective client who comes to you and says, hi there, yes, I'd love to get you, I'd love you to help me with my LinkedIn. Where do I start? You can say, well, what we've got to do is we've got to start by understanding who your target market is. We've got to understand who your niche is. Let's set up a workshop. Let's get your niche and let's come up with your captivating one-liner. And you can bill for that and you can charge for it. If you struggle with this, and it's a slightly bigger client, I want you to please bring me in and I will help you. Anyone with more than 3 employees, bring me in, because we can then work together on closing that deal. So I will help you close deals yourself. I will help you bring business. And like I said, hinted at the last session, I'm going to help you guys sell as well. I'm going to bring you guys business. But I don't want to say that up front, because as soon as you go out with, if I was to market a business opportunity to various people and I say, I'm going to find you the business up front, everyone's just going to come and they're going to do nothing. They're going to sit on their ass and just expect me to just bring them all this business. That's why I'm only telling you guys here. Of course, I'm going to help you guys bring business. I'm going to help you guys market. I'm going to help you guys sell. I'm going to be part of this with you. So I'm not going to just leave you alone to sell. and I'm going to bring you business directly. But at the same time, I need to know that you're doing it for yourself and you're doing it correctly. All happy with that, guys. Believe it or not, we're almost at the end of the session, which is quite amazing. I hope it hasn't been too like, oh my gosh, that was really boring. But at the same time, I'm also really hoping that this was probably the most enlightening for you, because essentially I've just spent 45 minutes talking about the captivating one-liner. It's that important, because if you can get a client to buy into a captivating one-liner, they're going to buy into you and they're going to spend money with you every single month, because every single month you're going to be working and working on getting that captivating one-liner out to key people and making them look really, really, really good in front of their peers. Cool. Help says, happy, great content, a strategy. Yeah, Michael, it definitely has flown by. Hey, today's been a really, really quick one. In terms of just time flying when you're having fun. I didn't even need to go and show you the app. I told you guys, you've got the app down packed. You've got it. You're sorted. You don't need any more technical instructions. Sure, there's cool little things that I haven't shown you yet, and we're going to be building more in the future. But what matters, guys, is you understanding the essence. Pete says, thanks, Scotty. Very helpful. Lance, hey, Lance, what % of clients pay using recurring revenue, or is it a once-off payment? Lance, vast majority are going to be recurring revenue. That's why we're in this business. Vast majority are going to pay you. Next week, I'm only talking about how to do that. Why, what are they paying for? How's that going to work? How to talk to them. I'm getting full into the actual sales side next week. This is the strategy. Last week was kind of like the execution on how you've got to research someone's profile, how to create those conversations, and why what you're doing for your clients is so extraordinarily valuable, because they don't have the time to do that themselves. So yeah, you're welcome there, Lance. So you see what's happening again? Just to kind of recap, should all make sense to you now. You're going to find yourself a client using the same methodology that I've taught you. You're going to send out your invitations. You're going to check for acceptances. You're going to send out the acceptance messages. You're going to go onto sales tracking. You're going to move them into sales tracking. You're going to send them a custom message by really checking out their profile. You're going to see if any of them have clicked on the article. If they've clicked on the article, then upweigh those. You're going to set your reminders. You're going to make notes. You're going to create a sales pipeline, a sales funnel of strong, high quality, good people. Then you're going to get your clients on board. When a client comes on board, they're going to say, cool, so you can help me with my LinkedIn. What are you going to do? And you're going to go, well, I'm not going to sell your product. And they're going to go, really? And you go, yep, I'm not going to sell your product. I'm going to make you look so good in front of a select group of your peers, whoever you want to get in front of. And they're going to go, really? How do you do that? And you're going to say, I'm going to write a captivating one-liner. We're going to create an article, and I'm going to literally log into your LinkedIn, and I'm going to message and find those individuals, handpick them one by one. And over the coming months, I'm going to start messaging them, researching their profile, checking out their business, saying to them happy birthday, congratulating them on what volunteer work they did, complimenting them on their background, mentioning an article they've written, congratulating them, even pasting pages of their website and showing them how good their products are and saying, wow, I really like what you're doing here. That's how you're going to build that credibility with them. And this other person's going to turn around and go, that's incredible. Like no one's offering the service. No one's doing this. And you go, that's exactly right. So I'm going to do it for you. Cool, hey? See how this works? Down the line, we're going to start showing you some other tricks. I already showed you the kind of full service package that we can offer with the really, really nicely written articles where we really go to town. And I will help you sell those. If you have any leads like that, you and I are going to go into those together. And we will do it together. It'll still be your client, don't worry. And from there, we can also create emails. We can create automated emails, but not spammy emails, a series of emails around this product. And what we can actually do is we can start actually automating this on a bigger scale and doing some phenomenally cool stuff with the tech. I don't want to get into detail on the tech, guys, because you kind of get it now and you understand how to work with trusted connections and how to grow that. So that's effectively how it works. Okay, I love it when this happens. Look here. Look at this. Okay, this has just popped up. What a perfect way to end the session. How not to do it. Thank you, Alana Heaton. I bet you're probably not even, are you even a real person? I don't know. This is how you do not do it. This is how I'm ending off today, guys, with an exact example of how people, you want to tear your frigging hair out. This is literally just popped in now, right now as we're talking. Dear Scott, I'm getting in touch about our freelance sales services. We help organizations of all sizes in industry with customer acquisition, driving revenue. All of our salespeople are proven with 5 years experience, sales specialist. No only blah, blah, blah. Our key speciality. This is the most awful, horrible crap. This is why we need to end this whole flippin' spam nightmare. Thank you so much, Alana, for showing hopefully eventually thousands of people in my course what not to do. And the irony is you're selling frigging sales. You are actually a salesperson trying to sell sales and doing it so completely and utterly wrong in every possible way. I hope, guys, this is an example of what not to do. I hope you guys can end off on a note that says, my gosh, I'm never going to frigging do this for a client in my life. Look at the difference between sending out this crap and Alana saying, all she had to do was say, dear Scott, I've just written an article specifically for internet marketers entitled Internet Marketers, Why the Industry is About to Crash in Johannesburg. Click, 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 click. I would have immediately read that. But no, they have to spam their frigging sales right down our throat. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, those who want to stay on, I'll help you one-on-one. The final episode is next week. I can't wait. We're going to really get under the skin of how to sell this. In the meantime, please, guys, give us a 5-star rating on the app and get your 150 invitations out. Get your invitations out, guys. The sales process, by the time you finish this course, you should be getting very close to signing up deals. Cool, everybody. Have a sensational, sensational weekend. I'm really looking forward to next week. Chat to you guys later.